Should you consider a torque wrench from a German manufacturer? Here we have 7 torque wrenches to take a look at for brands like Gedore, Hazet, Stahlwille, and Wera. And here I audited each of the torque wrenches at 40, 120, and 200 Newton meters by taking 3 readings at each desired torque. After that, I went ahead and cycled each one 1,000 times at half of max scale, which in this case is 100 Newton meters. Now this wrench from Stahlwille has some unique features. One with the internal mechanism. Now, as you can see in this photo, there's really nothing else on the market like it. The only thing that's close is a split beam design. It is in Newton meters and foot-pounds. And I will say adjustment is probably the fastest on the market here, with all you having to do is put your thumb in the back here and push the tab down and then run the slider. It allows you to line up the desired torque and you are ready to go. Made in Germany, reversible head. Now it is single direction torquing, which contains 36 teeth. When we look at overall test data, they are claiming 4% accuracy. We are right there on the edge of it when we factor in the actual accuracy of the Snap-on torque wrench tester there of plus or minus 0.5%. With MSRP around $800, but you can find it in the US on Amazon or KC Tool typically for around $400. KS Tools, now before 1,000 accuracy was within spec, but after we did 1,000 cycles, accuracy definitely on the low end was way out of 3%. Now this can be found on Amazon for around $200. It doesn't say where it's made. I tried to look it up, couldn't find where it's made, so I'm assuming Taiwan, somewhere like that. It does seem to be decent quality here with Newton meters and foot-pounds of scale. So once you pull the lock out, you can turn the handle and make those finer adjustments. Single torquing direction, 30-tooth ratchet mechanism. Now, what is interesting with this is you can torque in the opposite direction. Push the button there, slide the insert out, flip it around in the opposite direction. Upside down, we can torque in the counterclockwise motion. Definitely an interesting design. Gedore Red, found on Amazon and KC Tool, made in Germany. My understanding of red versus the regular blue is the red is supposed to be a little bit of a cheaper, maybe more so a DIY line of tools, but the overall quality here seems to be pretty good. Testing wise, claimed accuracy is 3%. After 1,000 cycles, on the low end, you can see that accuracy not as good, but still right there around 3%. Indication is only in Newton meters. You do have those single unit adjustments right there. 48-tooth ratchet mechanism. And that flip design. That way you can go ahead and torque counterclockwise. Gedore UK. Now this looks similar here other than the head. Accuracy wasn't as good as Gedore Red. And you could see after 1,000 cycles, just like Gedore Red, the accuracy started to deteriorate. Same single Newton meter units with individual adjustment there. Again, made in Germany, 48-tooth ratchet mechanism. Inbus, now this is the only one that's currently unavailable in the United States. Now before 1,000 cycles, the accuracy was pretty much right there with what they are claiming, and the same thing can be said after 1,000 cycles. Definitely when you consider the accuracy of the tester of plus or minus 0.5%. Just like the Gedore, you have that simple lock on the back, single units in Newton meters with single unit visibility here in the window. This one I was also unable to find where it's made. So again, this is probably one that's made in Taiwan or something like that. With a 45 tooth, reversible ratchet mechanism, and the flippable insert. Wera, I was kind of shocked by this. They claim 3% accuracy. The initial audit, we did fail that on the lower end. And then after that 1,000 cycles, it failed again on the low end. You got that pull cap on the bottom. It is in Newton meters and foot pounds here, but the single units in the window is only Newton meters. Made in Taiwan with a 45 tooth count. One thing that's interesting is it comes with this little stopper here made out of rubber. Basically, you can put that on there to try to prevent the torque wrench from rolling around. Now Hazet, most would say this is the snap-on of Germany with a claimed accuracy of 4%, but I was shocked at how impressive this torque wrench was before 1,000 cycles. Yes, after 1,000 cycles, the accuracy deteriorated a little bit, but still well within that 4% of what they're claiming. Now you do have that laser edging only in Newton meters. I really wish on the back side, maybe they could have put foot pounds. The locking and unlocking mechanism is kind of unique. I felt it was kind of weird to begin with, but after use, I found it pretty good. With you just turning it there to unlock, setting, rolling it back to lock, again, unlock, lock. Pretty straightforward and easy to do. And it is angled, kind of creating a anti-roll sort of setup. Made in Germany, 32 tooth ratchet mechanism. Data-wise, I do have some additional tables here. If you want to take a closer look at some of this data, I would recommend going ahead and pausing it on each table. I'm going to move through this quite quick. Here we have make, model, MSRP, the torque range in Newton meters, accuracy claimed, tooth count, head size there, overall length, warranty, and where it's made. So here we have the direct comparison before 1,000 cycles, and then after 1,000 cycles. So what's my overall takeaway? Now the majority of these are sub 4%, which yes, some do claim they should be 3%, but in all reality, sub 4 to me is still pretty good. With the exception of after 1,000 cycles on the low end, the KS tools didn't do very good with around 7%. So now my two picks would either be the Hazet here or the Stahlwille. With the Hazet having impressive accuracy and build quality, being made in Germany and can be found here in the US for around $200. The only drawback to this is it's only in Newton meters. Why on the back side they didn't put foot pounds? Well, that's a question for Hazet, because even the cheapest half-inch torque wrench you can buy here in the US has foot pounds on one side and Newton meters on the other. Now the Stahlwille didn't have as good as accuracy, but it was sub 4%, and 4% is what they claim this torque wrench would do. Again, what's impressive is how fast you can actually adjust the desired torque setting by putting your thumb in the back there, pushing the lever down, and sliding that indicator. The only other torque wrench on the market that I know you can adjust that fast is this copy of a Warren Brown, where you have this adjustable slider here. Now, one thing I do need to know, these torque wrenches range from roughly 30 foot-pounds to 147 foot-pounds. Unlike the majority on the market here, which range from 50 to 250 foot-pounds. That being said, I do think these torque wrenches do fall in that professional category, so they would be a little bit cheaper than this snap-on, which retails for around $500, but above this Icon, which is made in Taiwan and retails around $140. That being said, my only other complaint, it's interesting that European tool companies provide these plastic tubes when everybody else in the world provides their torque wrenches in a blow molded case or foam. Now yes, some you can get in cases, but typically it's in a set and not just the torque wrench. It's one of those things where if somebody has a service truck, they're not going to want their torque wrench rattling around in the back. Preferably it would be in some type of actual case. But anyhow, hopefully you found this video useful. I will leave the links below to the previous test videos of the Icon versus the Snap-on split beam there, and the links to these products. Let us know in the comments if you have any of these and your thoughts there. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.